All right, a quickie for you guys. The NXT TakeOver Dallas review. This is not going to be a full-length review or anything like that, but this is just going to be my quick thoughts on NXT TakeOver Dallas as a whole. Uh, First off, I will say I did enjoy the show. I thought this was a fun show. NXT takeovers always tend to be a little bit more fun than main roster pay-per-views. I think the thing about NXT takeover shows that I like about it is that, like, I follow NXT, but not religiously, not weekly or anything like that. So it's a little bit fun seeing these guys. It feels like I'm watching some old school wrestling where it's like, oh man, it's been a while since I've seen these guys and stuff like that. And they do a good job presenting the superstars, telling the superstar stories, getting the video packages into there. So that way, if I don't watch NXT, I still know what's going on before or after the match. So gotta give WWE props on that one when it comes to NXT takeovers. Is that even if you don't watch NXT on a weekly basis, just because Wednesday nights is a bad night, or just because you feel like the weekly shows are kind of they do a good job at getting you hyped up for the matches in itself. Overall, though, quick little thoughts is this opening match for the tag team titles. Right, guys, one really good opening match. Really liked the match, minus the botch, and I felt the rush ending. Like I felt the Sisplex should have been built up a little bit more. It was still a good match. Aries versus Corbin. Happy that Austin Aries won, but in all honesty, it wasn't anything all that special. But it was a nice little showcase for Austin Aries. Uh, Going on to the main match, though, the match of the night, pretty much Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. Very, very great match. If you're a fan of definitely like this hardcore in-ring wrestling, you will definitely like this match a lot. These two were just hitting each other with some of their best stuff. I really liked it. Not too many false finishes in this match, which I definitely like because sometimes when you get into the indie matches, there's way too many false finishes that it just kind of suffocates you. But they did a really, really good job at Sami Zayn trying to stand his ground and protect his home, his former home of NXT, and say like, "Hey, I've been here. I'm going to try to show you what an NXT talent is like." And Nakamura, pulling off the charisma that he has, did a really good job in this match. So definitely great match, match of the night. Definitely a match you should go check out on the WWE Network. Now, moving on forward to the Women's Championship match. Going to be dead honest here. Thought they rushed this match a little bit. I don't know if it was time constraints. Maybe Zayn and Nakamura went too long. But it felt like Bayley and Asuka just kept going move after move after move after move. That they only really had a couple of rest spots in there. And I felt like that these women can do a lot better, in my personal opinion. I'm glad that this match didn't turn out to be a train wreck like I thought it was going to be. But I'm glad that they put on a really solid matchup. Not the best NXT Women's title match, but a good one nonetheless. Asuka wins in a lackluster finish, at least in my opinion. I wish Bayley was struggling a little bit more, and instead of just passing out right away. Like it just felt like she just once that sleeper got locked in, she was like, "All right, I'm going to go take a nap now." So, but other than that, still a good women's match to check out. And finally, the main event for the NXT Championship: Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. First off, what the fuck was Finn Balor doing with the chainsaw? That was just random as hell. I did not get that whatsoever. He's all coming out. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is this shit? I just didn't see how that fit with the Finn Balor character. Early on in the match, though, Joe and Balor were brawling it out because this is a personal huge feud, and Joe gets a cut, and it's a nasty cut. Like, Joe is bleeding like effing crazy. And I did feel like this match was definitely better, in my personal opinion, than their London match. But I did feel like that the doctor stoppages did kind of slow down this match. Look, this is supposed to be a blood feud, per se. Let there be a little bit of blood. You don't need to clean his face completely of the blood. Just little blood stains, those are fine. Like, I understand why the WWE did what they did. Okay, and I can understand if you're in the live crowd, you'd be frustrated for it. But honestly, blood can cause diseases. Loss of blood from the head can cause head traumas. And in today's society, with concussions and all these head injuries being such a big deal, especially to the brain, and with the new scientific things that we're finding with the brain all the time, I can't blame WWE for wanting to protect their superstars. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to be one of the only few people coming on here saying, "Oh, these doctors." Like, I'm only going to be one of the only few people kind of defending the doctors in WWE here and not bitching and moaning that the doctors have to come in. But really, to be honest here, I care more about the safe and health of these WWE superstars than them going out there proving that they're badasses. Like I said, a little bit of blood is fine. I don't care if he has blood marks or anything like that. They didn't need to stop the match anytime Joe had just like a little blood trickling out, but when Joe's face is bleeding like crazy like that, you gotta wipe that off of there. Especially way too early in the match. But I did feel like it slowed down the match a little bit. But at the end of the day, Joe and Balor went on and put on a pretty solid match, which I felt the wrong guy won because Balor ended up getting the pinfall on Joe a la WrestleMania 9, Roddy Piper versus Bret Hart, or WrestleMania 8. Sorry, got my matches mixed up there. Got my pay-per-views mixed up. I know I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. But I just don't understand. How come Finn Balor is still the NXT champion? I guess they're going to keep him until summer to debut on the main roster, but yikes. I don't know how much longer I can stand with him as NXT champion, but hey, I guess good news for me. Samoa Joe's coming up on the main roster. I'm pretty much assuming that's why he lost. Like, I don't want to see another match between these two. No. I don't care how good these guys are. I don't care if they go for 2 out of 3 falls. Iron Man, I don't give a fuck. Jordy lost twice. Move him up to the main roster. Have him go freaking fight Ryback for the U.S. title or some shit like that. Go beat up Kalisto. Do something like that. I'm good with that. But overall, if you haven't checked out NXT TakeOver Dallas and you need something to kind of gear up for WrestleMania, definitely check this show out. Fun show overall. Where do I rank this in TakeOver? It's probably a top 5 TakeOver. I don't think it's the best TakeOver. To me, Brooklyn is the best TakeOver. Our Evolution, and then later on, TakeOver Dallas kind of falls in with the other NXT takeovers where it's like, which one do you place it on your top 5 list? I would say it's probably the 4th best takeover that we got. Leave your comments down below what you thought about NXT TakeOver. I got a couple videos coming for you guys tomorrow. I got a songs reviews for my boy Antoine Moore, and I got my WrestleMania Preview and Predictions podcast, part 3 of the WrestleMania Preview and Predictions podcast. If you guys haven't checked out part 1 or 2, well, part 1's kind of irrelevant because it was about this show, but if you guys haven't checked out part 2, check it out. I'll put the link in the description box down below. We talk about the WWE Hall of Fame 2016 and all that other stuff. But hey, check those out as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a couple of videos. Enjoy your day. Peace.